it comes down to my trading. And I don't know, man, maybe I was just delusional or I was just stuck behind. But for some reason, I thought that with trading, it was just going to be win, 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 win. I understood that you can have losing days, you can have losing weeks, you can have losing months. But I didn't understand that you can have a lot of losing months, and you can have a lot of losing weeks, and you can have a lot of losing days. I thought that at some point, once you got your strategy and your plan down, at some point the tide was going to turn. And from that point, we're just going to be making profits day in, day out, week in, week out, month in, month out, year in, year out. That's what I thought. I thought that once you have a strategy down, regardless of the market conditions and what's going on in the market, whether it's bullish or bearish, I thought that your strategy is supposed to be profitable throughout all those times. But after making profit and then losing about almost all of it in the space of like, because I made those profits, I had an account, $15,000 account. It went up to 750, 800. At a point, man, I'll tell you at a point, and I was streaming this live, at a point, I could have gone to like 1,200. But I left trades because I didn't want to lose my 750. I didn't want to start losing it. And then I saw how much that really messed me up and really messed up my prospects for how the rest of the trading month was going to go. And from there on, market conditions quickly just flipped. Next thing, my strategy is not working as well as it should be. And all of a sudden, you're back down to break even. Not even break even, you're barely scraping break even. You're just slightly below where you started. And I've gone through this so many times. That's why I feel like maybe now I have a bit of an answer as to why I keep going through that. And it's because I didn't understand that my strategy is not going to work all the time, regardless of how good it is, regardless of how much I tinker. It's not going to work all the time. It's only going to work when the conditions are right. And a lot of the times the conditions are not going to be right. But the thing is, you have to keep trading. This is not a call to say stop trading and do not put down positions because your strategy is not working or the conditions in the market are not right. It's not that. It's that you have to understand that when the tide turns and things are going that way, you need to reduce your risk. And I didn't understand that. It's something that I've only discovered like this last weekend, that okay, if I see that I've taken like 4 or 5 losses in a row, it's probably best for me to reduce my risk. Because clearly I'm implementing the strategy. I'm not hesitating to take trades. Definitely not, because I know how much the pain of missing out on a trade is. I'd rather take a losing trade than to miss out on a trade and not know what happens, or to miss out on a trade then you see it happens to win. So I understand that now I'm gonna take every trade regardless. But even if I do take every trade regardless, I didn't understand that market conditions are also gonna be a factor when it comes to how profitable the system is gonna be throughout that time. So when you see that you're going through such a streak where things are just not working out for you, then you should understand that at that time it's time for you to reduce your risk. That's the way that you keep yourself in the game and you save yourself an opportunity to make more gains later on. Because if you can identify exactly when your losing streak starts, which can be 3 trades, it can be 4 trades, it can be 2 trades, I don't know, it comes down to you. If you can identify when your losing streaks are starting, or when you're taking a lot of losses, reduce your risk. Because most likely, Your plan is good, but the conditions are just not right. But it doesn't mean that you should stop trading. You have to keep trading because you don't know when the tide is going to turn. You don't know how the markets are going to behave. You don't know which wins you're going to get. All of the data and the information that you're doing when you're trading is very important, regardless of the conditions in the market. If you do not trade, you do not have that data and you do not have that information. You don't even have to write it down, bro. Your eyes, your brain, your mind records everything and it sees everything. And the next time you see something like that happens, you'll remember that time. Especially in the markets, because the markets have an emotional connection towards us because of the money. And wherever there's an emotional connection, you're going to learn pretty fucking fast. Because the pain is going to teach you. And the joy is also going to teach you as well. It's going to be extreme emotions, and you're always going to remember places or times where extreme emotions were being expressed, whether by yourself or by others. So you need to just come down to that understanding, man, that regardless of how good your plan is, regardless of what it did last month, or what it did for the last 5 months, what it's done for the last year, at any time market conditions can change. And that is going to be the testing time, where most people who lack the awareness, they go on and decide to change their strategy and they end up lost forever, because from there on it's just tinker, 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 tinker. And then there are those who actually go out and try to figure out how to win. They're the ones who are going to realize that, hey man, my strategy is good, but the conditions just are not right. It's just like football, man. You're not going to win every game. No team in the Premier League is going to win every single game, every single year. Day in, day out. You're going to have losing days. You're going to have days where you perform well, you perform your best, and you might still lose. And that's just all part of the game. That's just all part of life. Everything is a gamble. This is just a much easier gamble for you to take, because you don't have to go out onto a field and run and kick a ball and train. You don't have to do all of those things. But with trading, it's just a matter of you simply just sitting down and pressing a few clicks on your keyboard, and just like that, you have an opportunity to make money. You have an opportunity to change your financial situation. You have an opportunity to uplift yourself and those around you. But you have to understand that it's going to take time, and it's an endeavor that you're going to have to lay brick by brick, day by day. It's not going to be done in one day, because if you try to do it in one day, guaranteed you'll be out of the game faster than you entered it. And all of it just comes down to awareness, lack of understanding, lack of knowledge. Those who really want it will seek out the knowledge, just the same way that I kept losing, man. I kept losing, and I saw my strategy's alright. My strategy is good. I've traded it so many times, it's made me money. But right now, during this rough patch, I'm not seeing any hope from it. Maybe I should just take a break from trading. Maybe I should just stop, which is the wrong mentality to have. But the only reason you would have such a mentality is because you don't understand that, hey man, throughout times in your trading career, there are going to be times where your strategy just does not work, and the conditions just don't allow for you to gain and acquire profit. So, with this video, hopefully you've acquired some understanding and some awareness towards what could possibly be going wrong in your trading account. Because I see a lot of people on the live streams on YouTube where they'll tell you exactly that I was going through a losing streak, don't lose hope, don't lose this, don't lose that. And you can say all of those things to people, but if they don't understand why you're saying that, then at the end of the day, they're most likely just going to give up. Because you're giving them hope, but you're not really allowing them to understand where that hope stems from. It's just blind, pointless hope. It's just hope for the sake of hope, but hope with no direction. But I'm here to give you hope with direction, to make you understand what I discovered. And throughout my trading career, this is a reoccurring process where you make mistakes, discover something, you learn, you implement it, you get better, you make more mistakes, you discover something new. So I've done this about 4 or 5 times. I've been at this point where it's like, oh, eureka, my eureka moment. I've had it like 4 or 5 times. And hopefully I'll keep having it over and over and over again, so that I can keep coming and sharing with you guys, so that you actually have hope that is substantial, that is practical, and that you can actually carry forward in your heart and know that, hey man, this man is actually telling the truth. Because when I actually look at it from that standpoint and I analyze it, I see that, okay, it actually does make sense, and it does actually answer a lot of the questions that I had. That's the type of hope that I'm trying to give you guys, because that's the type of hope that I needed, that I've been looking for, but I cannot find it. But after a lot of searching, through books, through reading, knowledge, that's how I discovered it. When I go onto YouTube, all of the people that are trading on their streams or that have information about trading, they're not telling you this. Maybe just a few reputable coaches and authors, who even for those people to be speaking that is because I read their book. For me to even find that information on YouTube is because I read their book. And they're the ones that are actually telling the truth in their books, and then they tell the truth in a seminar. But for the majority of these people who are streaming on YouTube, they're not going to tell you that, hey man, throughout times in your career, your strategy and your plan might not work, and it's okay. During that time, just reduce your risk. Easier said than done, but essentially that's what has to be done, is you just have to reduce your risk. Wait up until you're not in a rut. Take like 1 or 2 wins. And then from there you slowly ramp it up and you build yourself up. Because losing money that you're not prepared to lose is the main detrimental issue that leads to traders blowing their account and essentially dropping the sport. And we do not want people here that are going to drop the sport, man. We want people that are going to be here, year in, year out, taking money from the market, taking money from your fellow man, taking money from the big ass companies, taking money from Facebook, taking money from Google, taking money from YouTube, taking money from the government, taking money from your neighbor, taking money from the economy. That's what we are doing as traders. We are a glitch in the matrix. That's why there's not many of us. That's why they try to discourage us. That's why they make trading so difficult. They make it unfair and uneven. They give us the opportunity to trade, but they know that they're just going to hit us on the commissions, on the slippage, on this and on that. That's how they're going to take your money. But we know that if we sit down and take the time to actually understand this market, we can take back all the money that they've taken from us tenfold, even if they're not playing fairly. And that's the thing you should love about this game, is that this is a game where even if it is not fair, you can still win. Other games, man, in football, if you're down 10 men and the other team has 11, you're clearly at a disadvantage. If you're down to now 8 men and the other team has 11, you're fucked. But in this game, if you're down to 8 and the other team has 11, you still have a good chance of winning, because you don't have to win today. You can win over the course of your lifetime.